So I'm here standing in front of my home, and I'll never forget when we moved into this house. We had had our son Kai home for about a year, and before we brought him home from Korea, at our last home, we had gone ahead and baby-proofed everything. But when we moved into this house, nothing was baby-proofed, and I remember having to go through once again and make sure all the cabinets had latches on them, make sure all the electrical outlets had covers over them, making sure all the furniture was tied to the wall so he didn't pull it over on himself. And we did all this not because there was anything wrong with electricity and outlets, actually quite the opposite. It's for our benefit that we have those things, so that we can access that power. It wasn't that we didn't want the cleaning supplies that were underneath the sink, it's that we knew until he could properly understand how to use them, that they would be more damaging than good. And so it reminds me of a story when I was growing up. I had a good friend. I was young, like 16, 15, in youth ministry at my church, and he was a 30-year-old-ish, young adult, unmarried, single guy who loved to help with students. His name was Jerry, and one of the things that struck me most about Jerry is one day we were going out to do ministry, and we dropped by his house really quick, and I stepped in as he grabbed something, and I realized he didn't have a TV. Now, this is before the internet was a huge deal. This is before a lot of personal computers, but it was not before TV. And I remember looking and saying, "Jerry, why don't you have a TV?" And I looked at him spiritually so much in my life, and I'll never forget what he said. He said, "Ben, as a single guy, I think a TV is a bigger hindrance for me than a benefit. So God kind of revealed to me that I need to get rid of my TV." And I looked at Jerry and said, "Jerry, should I get rid of my TV?" And he said, "No, no, 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 no. I did not say that TVs were bad. I did not say that everyone should get rid of their TVs. I didn't say that TVs were sin. I just know for me that that was a protection I needed to put in my life, was to get rid of my TV." Today, you know your life. I don't know your life. And you know the certain areas that you need to protect yourself from. I know my son, and I know that I need to put covers on outlets because he's going to get curious. He's not going to use it for how it should be used. He's going to abuse that power and be hurt in the meanwhile. Same with under the cabinet. I know that I need the Clorox wipes. I know that I need the Drano. But I know that he doesn't understand fully how to use it properly, so we had to put a safety in place in your life. What is it that might not necessarily be wrong, might not necessarily be sinful, but something that you need to protect yourself from going down a road that is sinful? I just keep coming back to Ephesians chapter 5, starting in verse 15. This says, "Be very careful how you live. Be wise, not foolish. Make the most of every opportunity." And then later on in this chapter, he goes on to list all these different things that could lead to a life that was not the life that you wanted. A road that led to destruction instead of life. So in your life, what areas should you be protecting and setting up systems and processes in order to keep you far from sin and to keep you on this road of hope-filled, purpose-driven life?